What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. Today we are doing the top 5, in our opinion, do's and don'ts when you're moving into your first apartment. So when we were looking for our first apartment, we were looking for couples that had and we couldn't find none. We probably found 2 couples that were actually giving us.
Yeah, it was really hard for us to find, just couples doing what we were trying to do, like get an apartment, and we had no guidance. We didn't have any help. We didn't know what to do. So we're just gonna be sharing our experience with you guys and what we learned through the whole process.
Yeah. So this is going to be a whole series. I think this is part 2 technically, but the first part was just our apartment tour. So the first one, we're going to do our don'ts first. Our first one is don't rush and buy everything at once. And mainly we mean furniture. Like, don't go out buying couches. Like, you may think you know what the apartment looks like, but a lot of times I don't even show you the apartment that you're actually going to get. I would just honestly wait it out unless you've already seen the exact apartment that you're getting and you've done your measurements. I would not go buy furniture and beds and all that. Like, you just moved in. It's not even that deep, y'all. Some people be sleeping on their floor for a while. Like, I honestly just think it'll slowly but surely come into your home. Like, you don't have to have it fully furnished the first day. And that ate away at me because I always wanted to move into my first apartment and it'll all be furnished and decorated in the first week. No, that's not how it works. Yeah. I couldn't even find half the stuff I wanted for the apartment until 4 or 5 months into the apartment. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for that to decorate with. I've been wanting that table. So yeah, what do you have
to? Yeah, just take your time, because when we first moved in, we didn't even have our bed. We had a blow up mattress. That's probably how it's gonna start off. You don't want to just rush and get a bed or rush and get a couch or rush and get
That's
anything.
A lot of finances at one time too.
So just take your time, save your money. Like, it's gonna come. So just just be patient and just trust the process with it.
Yeah. Second one is don't sign a lease until you see your exact apartment. Like, you can apply and do all that, but wait till you see the apartment you're going to move into before you sign the lease, because they'll try to get you, show you this even if you go to apartment at all, they're going to show you, of course, a floor plan that's all decorated and nice. Like, oh, this is this apartment, that apartment. And they're like, okay, what does the apartment look like that I'm moving into? Yeah. Like, when we were touring apartments, they were showing all these glamorous apartments. And I'm like, okay, well, what apartments do you have available? Like, what's the apartment that you're trying to... And they're like, oh, it's not this one. It's not this. This is the only apartment like this. Like, okay, so the floor plan that you're actually getting people to sign a lease for looks nothing like this apartment floor plan. So yeah. Just make sure you go in and say, can I have a tour of the apartment first, please? And then let them walk you around. And if the apartment's not ready, then you could just wait to sign the lease and be like, okay, well, we can wait till the apartment's ready to look at and ready to tour before you sign it, because you'll be signing it. Come in and be like, what is this? This is not what the pictures look like, especially online, because they'll really try to get you. Like, the pictures will look nothing like the apartment. Like, we look back at our apartments that we're in right now, like the pictures they have online, and I'm like, that's all dolled up. Like, our apartments are nice, but the filters and the edits they be doing to the pictures, I said, that water is blue, looks all pretty. Like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you guys just want to, tour the apartment. You want to make sure you look for any, dings, anything that could possibly be messed up that they could have missed, because they'll charge you for it if you don't say anything or point it out to them, because they'll think it's on you. So just let them know beforehand, or get it fixed before anything, or just make sure.
Yeah,
just
especially
check
when you first move in. They'll give you a time frame to where you can take a note, like, okay, this was messed up, this was already coming apart, the paint is chipped right here. That way when you move out, they're not putting that on you. So that's a little side tip too. Next, don't settle.
So basically, just don't settle. Like, when you're going and looking for your apartment, don't settle for the first one you see. You may think it's the one, you may think it's perfect, but there's always a better one out there that will better suit you. Don't get pressured into anything. Don't let, when we were looking for our apartment, they were really trying to pressure us into
it was one specific apartment that was
they were no, just sign here, pay the application fee and you can hold it, and this is the apartment for you. Don't settle. Just keep an open mind. Just Learn to say no. Don't just keep looking.
We went to these apartments away from our hometown where we stay now. Mm-hmm. We were venturing off. That's where we initially wanted to live, was like a few miles down. And the guy that we had saw, we were like in a whole new city, so we were all scared and we were young. We are just like, oh, like we just want to see, see the apartments. There was literally like, he took us to see like 3 different apartments. And I was like, oh, so is this the one we're going to stay in? One of them, there was literally a dead bug in the shower. The mirror was like not even straight up and down. It was sideways, so you could see the back wall. It was just like, the doors were really close together. And I guess who would have been our neighbor, he smoked cigarettes, and he had like a little, like, I don't know what they're called, little foldable tables, and it was super close to the door, and it was just like filled with cigarettes, and there was like stuff all over the floor. Like, it was just like, and it was right by the door. Like, if we came up the stairs with groceries, we would have knocked that table over. And I was just like, is this where you want me to stay? Like, you should not be touring people's apartment when it looks like, no way. So we were in there, and he was like, yeah, it's a really nice apartment. You guys like it? Just pay this much. Like, he was really trying to pressure us. It's like the guy who's trying to get you to wash their shoe in the middle of the mall. Yeah. It was just like that.
Like they were nagging at you, just,
Yeah, we were just like, no, thank you. And then the worst part, there was a guy who was on the phone yelling while the guy was like walking us through the apartments. He was like yelling on the phone to the police or whatever.
Saying somebody stole his car. Police pull up, and we're like, so somebody stole his car here at this apartment.
While we're touring too at that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like there's a police officer right there. Like, it's time to go. And it wasn't even that bad of an area. Like, we were in a really nice part of like the city we wanted to stay in. And I was just like, what is the apartment? Oh, well, it wasn't that nice in the city. But it was like, it was...
Just don't settle, guys. Make sure you look at everything thoroughly, from parking, from washing, just everything. Do not settle. Get what's best fits you. And
especially because when you're young and you're trying to get out, you think like, oh, I just need to get out right now. Yeah. And then when you go to the apartment, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like... You're already like amped to move out, so get on your own. So of course you have all that energy. So the first thing you're gonna see, you're already gonna be making plans for it and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, you can find exactly what you want, if not very, very close to you want, if you just explore everything and really be patient.
And just remember, like, you're paying with your hard-earned money, so you don't want to be in something that you're not loving and that you don't enjoy being in. So just keep that in mind.
So number 4 is don't round down, round up. So this is my glory code I live by with bills and everything. You guys, I'm telling you, round up. When you're trying to move into your apartment and rent is $1,200 or $1,300, if the bill is $1,385, round up to $1,400. I'm telling you guys now that you guys just need to round up, because just in case you need that cushion, if you can't round up $20 and still not make it, you don't need to be moving into an apartment. If they tell you that your gas bill is around 30 to 40, 50 bucks, say 50. Like, I'm telling you guys, you need to have that cushion. I know it's so easy to be like, what if I make it like the exact amount they said and the lowest amount she said, then I can make it. Like, do not do that, you guys. Just
You're only
round
hurting yourself.
Up. Yeah.
Because when you want to do extra stuff, and, it just hurts you, and then you'll think you have the money, but you don't. So always just round up.
All right, you guys. So number 5 is don't forget the basics. So what we mean by don't forget the basics is like, there's a lot of stuff that you're not even going to realize that you need because your parents always bought it for you, or you never really felt the need to buy them. But I'm telling you, you're going to need a lot of stuff that you don't even realize. What helped me is, when I was buying dishes, for example, I would just get a whole set. Like, I wouldn't even try to do it individually. Like, I would just get a whole set. And I asked my mom a lot of the stuff. And even some of the stuff that just came along as it came. Like, when we needed it, I was like, why didn't I think to buy this? So, of course, you're going to forget something. You may try to prepare as much as possible, but I'm telling you, you're going to forget something. Like shower towels and washcloths and stuff like that. Like, you don't even realize that you need some stuff that is just like, oh my gosh, wow, I have to buy a freaking can opener. Like, wow. You know, like paper towels and like toilet paper, like all of that stuff your parents probably buy for you, and now you have to buy it for yourself. So realizing that was like, oh dang, like I actually do need, like, so yeah, that's
Like even when it comes to cleaning, like you want to have a broom, a mop. Like when you get in, you want to have everything, freshly cleaned on your own. Like they may have cleaned it or said they cleaned it, but you always want to go over it again. So get some Clorox wipes, broom, mop, all that good stuff, and just bleach, wash out the shower, the tub, like, just little basic needs that you didn't think of. So around those lines.
Now we're going to the do's. So the first one is financial breakdown before you move in. So I was kind of talking about this when I said don't round down, round up. But you need to have a financial breakdown from your bills to how much bills you have now to how much the rent is. And not only the rent, but I mean like what's included in the rent and what's not included in the rent. When I say you better ask, then people, that's another one. But you need to know what's included in the rent and what's not included in the rent, and do a breakdown and ask around. Like you need to know how much is gas usually, how much is water. Like those type of questions need to be asked because you need to break it all down. Like it may seem like a little $30 whatever, but I didn't know electricity was like $130, or like sometimes like it just gets crazy sometimes. So you need to break it down. And even when you move into the apartment, you need to break it down every single month, from paycheck to paycheck, from bill to bill, so you make sure that you don't have to stress about being late on a bill, being short on a bill, the money's already in an account that it's going to go through. Like all of that stuff needs to be broken down. Yeah. Before you move in and after. I've seen people, when we were looking for our apartment, I saw somebody who literally took the rent or the amount of money that they would pay in rent and in bills, and they tucked it away from their paycheck for a whole month. And if they had to touch that money, that meant that they can't afford to move into their apartment. And I thought that was a really cool idea. Like if your rent is $1,500-$1,600 a month, and that's just rent, say it doesn't include anything else, then you need to kind of round up those other bills, and then ask your parents, what are they spending on this bill or that bill, maybe cut it in half, or get a portion of it if they live in a big house, stuff like that, and try to just get an idea. That way you can tuck all that money in a plastic bag, don't touch it. And if you have to touch it for food, gas, or anything like that, that means that you cannot afford to be in an apartment. So yeah.
And number 2,
drive around during the day and also at night.
So you want to get a complete 100% feel of what the apartment is day and night. You do not just want to go check it out during the day and be like, oh, it's so peaceful, it's nice, it's quiet, it's calm. Because at night, it can get loud, because usually during the day, people may be at work, whatever the case may be. They get home. Your apartment complex that you're trying to move into may be full of people who like to party. It's loud. It's
look like a circus.
Yeah, it can be a circus at night, and you're thinking you're gonna have a calm, peaceful night. So you want to just check day and night. Do not just get one side of what it may be, because if you do that, it can just move. It can mess up your experience of your apartment. So yeah.
And also we put on there, ask neighbors. So when we were going through that experience of the apartment complex that had the police officer that we were talking about earlier, we saw a video actually, or somebody told us to ask the neighbors because they live there, so they know. So we saw a lady walking out of her apartment with her child. And before we went to the office to tour the apartments, we had pulled her to the side. I was like, hey, do you like it here? Is it calm, peaceful? Is it loud? What's going on? And she literally told us, it's nice, but you need to stay in the front. Like she said, move, and if you're going to move here, stay in the front of the complex. And I was like, stay in the front? Like, that's scary already for you to even have to say, don't move in the back. Like, that was scary in itself, because the front was right by the gate. So, of course, it's right by the main street. The office is right there. So, cameras or whatever. But she said, I would stay in the front. And that scared us. And we still toured the apartment. And obviously, that wasn't where we meant to be, because we saw the police officer and all that crazy stuff. So, but she just, literally told us, yeah, it's nice, but don't stay in the back.
And even knowing that kind of makes you uncomfortable and second guess, because there's obviously some activity that shouldn't be happening going on. So it's that kind of brought that caution to us, maybe not.
Yeah.
Just keep looking And that just goes back to don't settle thing.
Yeah.
Like,
because we thought, we were looking online and we're like, oh, these are so pretty, da da da. But you never know. When you get there, it could be a whole nother situation. And we didn't even get the chance to go back at nighttime because we saw all we needed to see during the day. So,
and it was a lot going on during the day, so.
And they're real with you. Like, if somebody pulled us to the side and was trying to move into our apartments now, like, we would be straightforward with them and tell them what do they have to lose. They're not losing money because it's not their apartment. Of course, the people in their office and they're of course going to be like, no, stay here. It's perfect. They're going to paint a perfect picture. But the people in your reviews, too, the people in the Google reviews, they don't care. But make sure you look at the date because some of that stuff is like 2011. And you're like, dude, there's been different management. They probably repainted the place, redone the place. But look at the reviews, read them thoroughly. If some people on there are talking about their own certain like experiences, like somebody will say, "Oh, my car got towed." Like, why did your car get towed? And they'll put 1 star. But actually, really read it because some people will really genuinely talk about like the management has been, the maintenance is horrible. Like they'll actually genuinely tell you the real. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely recommend asking a neighbor. It might startle them at first, like, hold on, but their people are usually like straightforward and let you know. He did the asking because I'm too scary. It may think from the videos that I would have asked, but I did not ask. I was like, can you go out there and ask? He asked the guy taking the trash out. What did that guy say?
What did he say?
I think
he said it was like it's pretty calm and quiet, like where his area was. He said
he was in the front too. Yeah, we had pulled in.
He said it was just pretty calm and quiet. Nobody bothers like one another, so he said it's like pretty peaceful. But yeah.
Number 3 is ask questions. I kind of touched on that. Yeah, when you're moving into your first place, you need to ask them questions. That's their job. You need to question them down, especially what's included in your rent. I know I talked about this a little bit earlier, but like honestly, you need to know because we went to our apartment thinking that the rent was the rent. We didn't think it was going to fluctuate. We didn't know that there was stuff included, but not state like one specific payment. Like no, our rent fluctuates every month. We didn't know that, and nothing was. Well, there was water included, but nothing else was included in our rent. And we kind of figured, like, we budgeted out for all of our bills. We planned ahead of time, but we didn't know that specifically. So you would really need to, like, now when we're looking at apartments, we're just like, hold on, that's the rent, but what's included in the rent, what's not included in the rent. Like, you really gotta look and do your research because...
And, like, don't let them do all the talking because they'll tell you one thing and it sounds good. And you're like, oh, okay, like, that sounds good, blah, blah, blah.
Read the fine print.
Yeah, like, and then you'll get into the apartment. And it's all these things fluctuating. You thought this wasn't included in the rent, but it is. And it's like...
Yeah, you gotta ask.
So just ask questions. Like, nothing's a dumb question when it comes to where you're going to be laying your head and where you're spending your money. So just make sure you just really ask some good questions.
Yeah, like if we actually had to ask her, could we see our apartment? Like they weren't gonna let us. They're like, oh, okay, you could sign the lease today, and we're like, hold on, like we don't even know what we don't even know what the apartment is that we're getting. Like we don't know what's going on. She told us the last minute that there was washer and dryer in our apartment, and we didn't want a washer and dryer, so we were like, hold on, like you did not say that. And there's a lot of different floor plans, so what you may see is not what you're gonna get. Like we wanted an upstairs, but we didn't wanted a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and we didn't know that the upstairs 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom is a half bathroom because there's a washer and dryer. So we were like, well, we didn't know that. Like that's such a small detail that you wouldn't have known. So if you wanted a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, it has to be downstairs. Like that wasn't verbally expressed to us. We were just supposed to know that, I guess. That's why I'm glad we because we walked in and we're like, hold on, what's right here? Like, why is this bathroom so huge? And she was like, oh, you said you didn't want the washer and dryer. Like, yeah, we didn't know it was in the bathroom. Like, what's going on? So, just ask questions and make sure you tell your apartment. Last one, number 4 is prepare in advance. So, make sure that you look thoroughly through everything. It takes time to move into an apartment. Not only do you have to pack, but you have to do your research. We just touched on all the things you have to do: touring, asking neighbors, coming in the morning, coming at night, making sure that their specific plan, like of your rent and your bills, you need to make sure that you can handle that and afford that thoroughly. So that's
while you're doing all that, you want to have your stuff packed because you're running around looking for apartments, doing research, doing review, doing all this stuff.
You want to slowly but surely be like,
you do not have your stuff packed. So you don't want to wait, the day they say, oh, you're approved, because they can move you in 2 days and you have nothing packed. So you just want to have your stuff packed at least a week or two in advance. Just have it ready, set, go, because you're moving out. So don't wait till last minute, because it's just gonna be a stressor, and it's gonna be a burden. So don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, if you're preparing to move, I would slowly but surely start cleaning, getting rid of stuff, stuff that you don't want, stuff that you want to get rid of. You don't want to have to be tagging along with you, clothes you haven't even touched. Like, slowly start decluttering, slowly start tucking stuff away. Like, you know what, I don't really even use none of this stuff. I'm trying to move in the next couple months or the next couple weeks. Start packing that stuff slowly but surely. Start decluttering. You don't want to wait till last minute. You've applied to all these different apartments, paid all these fees, and then somebody calls you back and is like, hey, we have an apartment ready tomorrow, and you're like, oh, well, and even if you do get approved and you're like, oh, okay, you need to start, you're paying rent now. Yeah. So you don't want to be at home chilling when your rent is accumulating. Like, you're paying for these days. Every day is $1 you're paying for. So if you're still at home packing stuff and your apartment's sitting there, you didn't pay for this month, and it's taking you a whole week, you're tagging, going back and forth from your home to the apartment because you've waited till last minute. So it takes a long time to prepare the move, to save up for the move. All right, number 5, you guys, is save your money. Honestly, when you get into your apartment, I know we said don't buy everything at once, but you're going to want money up, because there's a lot of fees that are involved with moving into an apartment. Like, a lot of fees that you wouldn't even realize. I'm telling you guys now, us saving is what saved us to get into an apartment. Like, the initial fees are a lot. So first you have your application fee. We could just get into it. Then you have your security deposit from where we stay. I don't know. I'm sure everybody has a security deposit that you get back eventually if you don't mess up the apartment. But just save your money. Like, our apartment didn't come with a refrigerator, so we had to come out of pocket for a refrigerator. Yeah. We had to, you're buying cleaning stuff, you're buying food and dishes to eat with, and that stuff slowly comes. But if you have a financial cushion, you're not as stressed, because you also have rent to pay. So not only do you pay the first month rent your first month, but you also pay a security deposit, and before you even get into the apartment, you're paying for the application fee. So it's this whole thing that slowly but surely tacks on. And then if, say, we're staying together, so we both have to pay for a separate application fee. Yeah. So it's a lot that goes into it. So I would just tuck your money. You don't ever want to move in and then just be like, oh my gosh, I don't have any money, but I need a refrigerator and I have to eat, and stuff like that.
And that goes back to touring the apartment, knowing what comes with it. It could come with a fridge or not. It can come with a microwave or not. You don't know. So that goes to just save your money, have a budget for everything. What you need, what you don't need. Just a little essentials when you first move in.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this educated someone in the smallest amount. Just one person, it doesn't even matter. I hope you learned something from this video. And if you're looking to move into your first apartment, good luck, good luck. We're having a series. Yeah. This is our second video, technically, in the series. So, yeah, if you like this video and you want more content like this, follow the series and press that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching.